Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Slauson. So this is your video for 2.2a retake on changing from standard form to vertex form. This process does involve completing the square, and I'm going to be going through the first 6 examples with you. So the first thing we're going to do when we complete the square, doesn't matter what problem is, we always do want to group our x's together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then as I do that, I'm going to be adding my box. And then my non-x term will go outside of the box. Notice that it's -8, so I'm writing -8 here, and then I should be subtracting a box. So just a reminder, the reason why I want to add the box and subtract the box is because I want to keep x squared plus 6x minus 8 the same. I want to keep it equivalent. So by adding a number and then taking it away, essentially what I'll be doing is those boxes cancel each other out. So I think it's a good idea to always factor out a number. And so if you don't see a number to factor out, put a 1 there, and we're going to have that be our bunny hop number. So once this problem's set up, we can take 6, divide it by 2 for 3, square that number for 9, and then that number is what will be going in my box. And then I'm going to bunny hop and realize that in my other box, I should be putting a 9. So from there, I want to create vertex form. So I'm writing at the top, vertex form. So my A is going to be the one that you're seeing right in front of my parentheses, although technically you don't need it. I'm going to do x with my parentheses squared. And as I said before, whatever is in front of this squared is what's going to be going in front of this squared. So I will be putting a +3. So there's my h value. And then k at the very end will be coming from, just one second, my simplifying these numbers. So -8, take away 9 more, you can use your calculator, is -17. So if you are having your calculator in front of you and you want to see if you got this right, put the original equation, just the x squared plus 6x minus 8, and put your answer. Go to your y equals button, put 1 into y1, 1 into y2, and you should just see one graph because they are technically the same quadratic equations. They just look different. So the next problem, I'm going to go ahead and group my x's together. I'm going to add my box and subtract my box. And I want to factor something out, so I'll factor out a 1. And now I'm going to take -10, cut it in half for -5, and then when I square the -5 times -5 is a +25. That goes in my box, and then I'll bunny hop and put a 25 in the second box, and now I'm ready to put this into vertex form. So again, A, the value in front of the parentheses will be 1. In parentheses, I'll do x with my parentheses squared, and then since -5 is in front of this squared, I'll do -5 in front of that squared. And then I'm going to go to the end with this 15 take away 25, and that is worth a -10, and there is my k. So again, you can always put the x squared minus 10x plus 15 into a y on your graphing calculator, and then put your answer, and then you should see one graph when you hit the Zoom 6 button for graphing. All right, now we're going to start to get some numbers with x squared. So when I group my x's together here, and I want to factor a number out. All right, so I'm at home making this video, and you still might hear my dogs barking in the background, but I did switch rooms. So what I want to do is make sure that what's in the parentheses starts with x squared. So I'm going to be GCFing or factoring out that 2. And I'm also going to take the 2 out of the -4x. I'm going to factor out a 2, so divide out a 2x. And now I'm going to take -2, cutting it in half for -1, squaring that, which just means -1 times -1, which is a 1. And now I'm going to bunny hop and realize that what's in the box is actually worth 2. And now I can get this into vertex form. So my A value in front of my parentheses will be the 2, this 2 that you see here. I'll do x with my parentheses squared, and the number in front of the squared and -1 is what's going here. And then to get the k, I'm just going to have 1 and subtract 2, which gives me a value of -1. and now I have it in vertex form. So this time on number 4, when I group my x's together, what I'm going to go ahead and do is just factor out that GCF right away. So I'm going to take out that -1 because I want it x squared, and that's going to turn minus 4x into plus 4x. And then here I go to add my box. It's plus 13 minusing my box. And now I'm going to take 4, I'm going to cut it in half for 2, I'm going to square the 2 and get 4. And then when I bunny hop, I'll put a -4 in there. So now that I'm ready to put it into vertex form, my a in front of the parentheses will be -1. And then I'll do my x with parentheses squared, and then what's in front of this squared is just what goes here, so it's a +2. And now when I get my k at the end, I have to remember that 13 subtracting -4 is the same as 13 plus 4, which will give me a 17. All right, 2 more. So again, I'm going to save myself a little time, and when I do group these x's together, I'm going to take that 3 out. So I'm going to factor a 3 from the 3x squared and from the -12, which turns -12 into 4x. I'm going to add my box. And now I'll be taking -4, cutting it in half for -2 squared, getting 4, which goes in my box. And then when I bunny hop, I can see that it's really worth 12. So now for vertex form, a is 3, it'll be x plus the squared, and I'll put a -2 in there, so -2. And then when I go for my k, 1 take away 12 is really minus 11. And now I have it in vertex form. All right, last one, and then you'll be taking over from here on. So again, I'm going to group these x's together. I'm going to go ahead and just factor out that -5, which turns this minus 10x into plus 10x. And now I'll be taking 10, cutting it in half for +5, squaring the 5, which gives me 25. So 25 goes in my box, and then when I bunny hop, well, hold on, I just realized I messed up. Oh boy, all right, I didn't take the 5 out of the -10. I said I was going to, but I didn't do that. So it's actually should be a 2x. So there's plus my box with the -3. All right, fixing this. So 10 cutting in half is 1, 1 squared is 1. So 1's going in the box. Now when I bunny hop, it's really worth -5. So putting this into vertex form, I'm going to have my -5. I'm going to have x with my parentheses squared. I'll be putting a 1 in front of that squared because I have a 1 in front of my other squared. And then when I go for my k, -3 take away -4 is just like -3 adding 4, which will give me a +1 here. And now it is in vertex form. So now it's your job to go ahead and complete the other 4, not that many. And if you're interested, if you would like to see a different method in that same folder where you found this one, you'll see the Hampton method. I'm not quite sure how I phrased it. A slightly different approach, but we get the same outcome, same answer. So take a look at that one if you think this one is still a little too confusing for you.